What'd the film tell you about the dramatic turn in that game?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything that wouldn't be expected, you know? I think it's all stuff we can handle. I think we needed to come out and make a few more plays in the second half. I mean, we had 4 plays in the third quarter, which tells you 2 things. One, we didn't get off the field, and 2, we didn't stay on the field, right? So those things are all about the entire group, right? And how we execute better to have more time with the ball and make them have less time with the ball.
And how puzzling is it then that that wasn't an issue for 30 minutes and it became an issue for the next 30?
There are ebbs and flows in every single game,
Of course.
So even with the way the third quarter went, and you could tell it didn't feel good, or it just wasn't like, this is odd. You still, with the fourth quarter, you're like, all right, we'll run some more plays, we'll
Sure.
get back on track, and we'll win this game. And we're close.
Yeah.
Just that's not good enough. I'm not nearly saying that's good enough. After the game, I said it wasn't good enough. But we had some opportunities.
I know you believe in momentum changes in game and you feel those things. What did you sense about what that momentum that Edmonton built did to maybe not your team's morale, but just its ability to perform? Did that momentum sort of build and negatively affect your team?
I didn't feel any sort of way on the sideline like there was going to be an issue going back out for the next drive or the defense going out and stopping them. There was none of that. It just didn't happen, right? We didn't sustain a drive or we didn't get off the field. But I didn't have an emotional response to that.
Right.
It just was like, this is going oddly here. We're not in sync. But once again, after the third quarter, I'm like, all right, here comes the fourth. We'll reset, figure it out, and get going.
I guess if you knew the why to all these things, they wouldn't happen.
I think it's
You know the what,
it's a great game, physical, it's awesome, team, 12 guys, all played by humans, right? So, I think every time you need to figure something out, it's something different at times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Since the game, Mike, how much of talk has there been with the players about tackling?
I think that's every week. I mean, we practice tackling every week. That's what they do on defense. They have an indie period and they always do it. They practice takeaways and they practice tackling.
So nothing special about after this past game?
It wasn't necessarily just the tackling, it's the timing in a couple of those situations. To me, it's my job to make sure they understand exactly the scenario they're in. And I believe that some of the players were playing a different little scenario, like, all right, let's just keep that clock rolling. The clock's the enemy, and I think it's the opposite. The clock wasn't the enemy for Edmonton. It was the yardage for us, so we needed to attack more rather than be secure with an extremely explosive guy in front of us with the ball, So I could have done a much better job of explaining the situation and, just pushing them to attack more in that specific situation.
How do you feel the connection is between Zach and Pokey?
Yeah, I think they're good. I think we can execute better. I think everybody across the board, we're 5-5. I think we need to execute at a higher level, more consistently. But the connection between them, it's fine. Yeah.
Mike, I think some people are kind of struggling to put a finger on this team through 10 games. There's been some highs, right, and some pretty lows as well. So, I mean, just what do you just kind of make of kind of how this season's been a bit of a roller coaster in that way?
I would say the majority of guys in the building here aren't struggling to put their finger on it. I think our process allows everybody to see the truth of where we're at. We're not where we want to be. Do I think we've gotten closer? Absolutely. I talked about it in the last few weeks. We're down to some finite, the fine fixtures, little details, honing the craft. We're not still in that big picture mode, right? So I believe that the guys know exactly where we're at. 5-5, not good enough, improving, and we have a team that, if we play to our potential, can compete every single week to win a game.
How does a team become more consistent? I'd imagine that's not the most simple fix, really.
Yeah, a little bit more work, reps. I think it's more about individually finding out what you need to be more consistent on a personal level, So we can change practice. We can do certain things. We can validate our process and change. We can fix things that we see. That's what coaches do all the time, is they are constantly adjusting and trying to hone, and okay, well, we can do this better. We can call this better. We can do, we can do this drill better. We can fix this drill. They're always looking at that process. And then as players, we have to take a look and pinpoint exactly what's going to allow us to take the next step in terms of consistency. Whether it's prep, whether it's whatever it's going to be, right?
You've used the hockey term, squeezing the stick too tight. Is that just been the story in the red zone for this team this year, or is there kind of more to it than that?
I don't know. I what I said to them after the game and what I noticed during the week, I thought after day one, I thought the rest of the week the guys were loose and focused and, on task, and they did it in a way that was just really pleasing for a coach. Like just the way they were going about their day, and especially on the practice field, there was this confidence to them, and I think it showed up in the first half for sure. Like their prep was good and loose, and the way the team was interacting, I thought it was excellent. And, certainly as a head coach, you love to see that, and it showed up right away. In my mind, that was part of the reason why they played so well in the first half. Where it disappeared to, I don't think they gripped the stick too tight in the second half. I just don't think we executed as well, but I don't think that was pressure-based. I just think whatever reason that is.